If there's one thing anyone should know about me, is that I love Sonic the Fighters. Not only is it my favorite Sonic spin-off, but I consider it to be one of the greatest fighting games I've ever played. With Virtua Fighter and Sonic mixed together in terms of gameplay physics, as well as a roster of characters. Now, in terms of rules, I'm only going by the 8 main playable characters, so no boss characters like Metal Sonic and Robotnik, and no modded or hidden characters like Honey the Cat. I'm keeping this as fresh as possible. So here is my top 8 Sonic the Fighters characters. Now we got all that crap out of the way, let's rock! Just a disclaimer before I start moving on with the list. No, I am not an Amy hater. There are plenty of other characters in the Sonic series I consider more hateable. Anyways, back on topic. The main reason I put Amy, or for some reason Rosie the Rascal as she's called in this game, is to me, she feels like a pretty cheap character in this game, especially with that hammer. I mean, I can appreciate her as a hammer wielder in the franchise, but seriously, she is so cheap with this hammer. See, look what it did. It made the opponent stunned a bit. And that's absolutely the main reason why Amy's this low on the list. Because of that cheap hammer of hers. Plus, that's really the only thing that stands out in my mind when it comes to character in question. Being the Dynamite, you can either be a natural predator or a complete punching bag. His speed is great, and he has the unique ability to chuck bombs at the enemy. It can cause the opponent to get knocked down a bit. And aside from his speed and special attack, bombs abilities, that's really all he has going for him. He's like he's like physically one of the weakest characters in the game. And that's really all I gotta say about Bean. Fang the Sniper. He's only been around in 2 Sonic games, Sonic Triple Trouble and this game. Anyways, Fang is a little bit cheap. He's got a court gun, and and unless you're guarding or ducking, those things, or at least in spin dash mode, those things will frickin' hit you real hard. That's pretty much what makes Fang one of the unique characters. Like I said, there are ways to protect yourself from the court gun. Also, I've been wondering, is Fang a honey badger? Because I think that's what he is. I don't know. Also, he looks freaking awesome. How come he hasn't appeared in any other Sonic games? Maybe if Lost World did that, I would have liked the game more. Oh, Miles Tails Prower. You're such a great character. Okay, in terms of his playset in this game, it's a bit meh. He's got his Skippy Happy attack, as I like to call it. He can also do a flying rush attack, but the thing is it also makes him vulnerable at the same time. And most of his moveset comes from Sonic. So other than his gliding and that happy smacky attack, he's basically a sort of Sonic clone in this game. Knuckles is the echidna. What can I say other than he's Knuckles? Sure, yeah, he may have Sonic's spin dash move, but he is no clone. He just swoops in instead of doing spin dash dive. And he has his own glide move where he charges at the opponent. And right here is probably what Tails' flying charge move should have been. Fast pace and always has a chance of hitting the opponent. So yeah, Knuckles is pretty good for beginners. And sorry to say, but he's the first character you face in arcade mode, so he's probably one of the easiest opponents to face. Bark the Polar Bear. What can I say about him? Well, aside from his stage theme being awesome, when it comes to cinematic special moves, he's basically the easiest to use. All you gotta do is do your basic punching combo. Bark is a little bit of the heavyweight, and a pretty good one at that. Might as well be one of the greatest heavyweights I've ever seen in a fighting game. We all knew Sonic the Hedgehog was going to be on this list sometime around soon, and he's finally arrived. I know for sure he's one of the best characters in the game. I mean, he's also the fastest. And sure, yeah, he may not do so well in his other categories, but his speed makes up for that very much. Oh, earlier I said, well, Tails is kind of a Sonic clone. Well, his moveset all comes from Sonic himself, like the spin dash and the spin dive, as I like to call it, as well as that double slap attack and his boosting kick. Another thing I should point out about Sonic is that his stage and stage theme, best in the game. So epic, and it perfectly describes Sonic's abilities and nature and all that. There's no other character I'd like to play as more in a fighting game other than Sonic the Hedgehog. He has so much of his moveset. He's so freaking fast. There's not much else I can say aside from that he's Sonic. But he's not number one. What could possibly top him? Well, that's what we're about to see. Yep, that's right. My number one pick for the Sonic the Fighters list on number one spot, that would be Espio the Chameleon. Once debuted in Knuckles' spin-off title, Knuckles Chaotix, he is pretty much pretty popular in the fan base ever since. Now, how does he play out in Sonic the Fighters? Well, put things simply, he's one of the among the greats. He's great in when it comes to his capabilities in battle, like his tornado spin, his strength, and his unique tongues attack. As well as his horn dive move. For some reason, even though I've played as Sonic a lot more, Espio just seems more right to me. Heck, I was told the other day that he's my best character. and I guess you could say that Espio is my main in Sonic the Fighters. I mean, his moveset's great. He's a great character himself. His stage and music is pretty good too. And all I know for sure is that with a lot more practice, he could dominate everyone. I'm a stylish sword master, and Espio is one of my favorite characters in fighting games in general. No, literally. He really is now one of my favorite fighting game characters.